Today is August 19th, and this is part 40 of our study of end times. Well, we've come through the tribulation. We've come through now the millennium. And let's see what comes next after the millennium finishes. It says in Revelation 20:11, "And I saw a great white throne." All right, this is called the Great White Throne Judgment. And this judgment is for the lost. There are three judgments mentioned. The judgment seat of Christ for the saved people. Never a judgment to see if a person is saved or lost. Then there's this judgment, the Great White Throne Judgment, not to see if they're saved or lost or not. And then there's also the judgment of nations. But we talked about that earlier. Okay, now then. "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it." And the one that sat on it, of course, is Jesus. For he said in John 5:22, "For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son." So the one judging here, sitting on the throne, is Jesus. Then it says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them." All right, about 700 years before Jesus came, Isaiah prophesied about this new heaven and new earth. In Isaiah 65:17, it says, "Therefore, behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind." So Isaiah, 700 years before Jesus, said that he was looking for a new heaven and a new earth. The next chapter, in chapter 66, verse 22 of Isaiah, "For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain." All right, so again, he's talking about the new heaven and new earth that will come in the future. Now then, we jump over to the New Testament. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 says this, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." All right, it says the heavens and the earth will be burned up. Now then, the Bible, Paul said he was caught up into the third heaven, so there must be three heavens. And we assume that the first heaven is where the clouds float and the birds fly. We call that our atmosphere. We think the second heaven would be space, where the stars are. Then the third heaven, of course, would be where God's throne is. And where that is, we have not the foggiest idea, because God's a spirit, and that's a spiritual place. So these three heavens. Now then, it says here that the heavens shall pass away, and I don't think that's where God's throne is. I think that will be our atmosphere that's connected with the earth and the heavens, because this is where sin has been. And I think it will be the new heaven and the new earth. I think this one will be destroyed. This earth with its atmosphere will be destroyed. Then drop down to verse 12. It says, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness." So we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth, and this is going to take place sometime after the end of the millennium. Then in Revelation 21, verse 1, it says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." Now, why is there no more sea? If you will think back at the Tower of Babel, God separated the people because he knew that if they stayed together, then things would happen too fast. So he had to separate them, and he separated them by water, by seas. And on the new earth, there'll be no more seas because the people won't need to be separated. So it'll just be one landmass on this new earth. What size will it be? I don't know, and you don't know. But I know it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a brand new earth. A new earth. Now, may I just say this? We, human beings, were created for the earth. We're not going to stay in heaven forever because we're going to come and live on the new earth that God is going to prepare for us. Well, Revelation, no, that's enough. We'll have to stop there for today. Our time has run out. So a new heaven, new earth will come because the first heaven, first earth couldn't stand before Jesus because sin has been here. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Have a great day.